Hello and welcome to a brand new club guide. Today we're going to be looking at Sunderland, obviously struggling slightly, somewhat in the real life, but let's see what they look like in Football Manager. In this guide we're going to go through the finances such as the wages and the transfer budget allowance, and also go through what the board expect us to achieve this season. We're going to go through the youth players, under 18s and under 21, see if there's any good youth players that could make the grade, and then obviously look at the main squad, see if there's any areas that need strengthening, and stuff like that. So first off, we get a message from the chairman who wants us to adhere to these philosophies, which are sign young players for the first team and develop players using the club's youth system. I think most people like doing that anyway, so I think that's not a problem. Regarding the competition performances, so in the Premiership, they hope that we will avoid relegation, 5th round of the FA Cup and 4th round of the League Cup. I think that's all definitely doable. Let's look at the finances. We've got 3.3 million in the bank and a transfer budget of a big fat zero. Wage budget, we are spending we've got 37,000 a week to spend on wages. That's okay. So you're going to have to sell to buy, it's not really surprising. Now let's look into the under 18s. In this, we don't go through every player, but we just go through the top talents, and there isn't really any. There might be a couple of hidden gems, but I'll let you discover that. Under 21s, we'll go through. Let's have a look. We've got one really good-looking talent here. The scouts really rate him, and his name is Jordan Pickford, currently on loan at Preston for the season. 21-year-old goalkeeper. Always nice to have a young goalkeeper. You don't come around too much. The scouts rate him as a possible 5-star, so excellent. He's 21 years old, like I said, goalkeeper. Looks like a decent player. Okay work rate, good determination. They're two important factors when looking at how likely a player is to reach their potential. Really good distribution, 16 kicking, what's his throwing is 11, 15 reflexes, handling's okay, communication's okay, command of area is okay, aerial reach is good, decent keeper. He could become a really, really good goalkeeper. It'll be interesting to see how his loan spell does, and then obviously once he comes back, that's up to you whether you want to give him some game time, maybe a tutor, or give him another season on loan, but definitely keep an eye on him. He could become a quality goalkeeper. Now on to the main squad, because you haven't really got that many youth talents. We won't go through in massive amounts of detail, but we're just going to sort of have a look. There's some players that you all know what they're like and stuff. So first we'll look at goalkeepers. You've got the giant that is Pantilimon. As you can see, aerial reach 20, jumping reach 20, good strength, command of area is good. His distributions, kicking's rubbish, throwing's good, reflexes are okay, handling's okay. He's a decent goalkeeper. He's 28, so he's at the sort of peak now. He's not going to improve too much, but he's a decent goalkeeper. And then you've got Vito Manone as the backup, who's a perfectly good backup. In fact, you might, if you're looking to bring a bit of money in, you could maybe look to sell Vito Manone. If you get 3 million for him, I wonder if you can bring Pickford back. No. And then bring in just a cheap backup, a freebie backup or something like that if you wanted to raise some funds. At right back, you have your options are basic. You've got a few options here. So we have Billy Jones, decent all-rounder, good determination, work rate. He's 28 years old now, so he's at the peak. Yeah, he's a good player, good going forward as well, and can fill in at left back as well. Decent player. Tackling's good, marking's good. Yeah, I quite like him. Sebastian Larsson, obviously the free kick master and the corners as well. Another good player. He's definitely better as a winger as opposed to a right back. Obviously his tackling is poor, his marking's poor, his crossing 17. He's definitely there's a few physicals that let him down here, but he's a good player. 30 years old now, so he's going to start declining soon, especially his physicals. Then we have Deandre Yedlin, who's the pacey one, isn't he? Yeah, I remember him from FIFA. Acceleration and pace, both 18. That's kind of his strength, really. There's not much else to say, really. Determination's 5, that's dreadful. But he's on loan. He'll do as a backup, I suppose. We'll get rid of the people we've loaned out. I'll let you discover if you want to keep them or not. So we've been... So next up we've got Adam Matthews, who can play both right back and fill in at left back. Another really good pacey player, better defensively than Yedlin as well, and going forward, sort of better all-round player, I'd say. Just not quite as quick, but still good pace. He's a decent squad player, he's only 23. And that's about it. So it's for right backs, you've definitely got options. I think sort of Billy Jones is your first choice, with Matthews as your backup, and Yedlin sort of just doing what he wants to do, really. I'm not sure how you get into the squad, maybe cup games and stuff. Next up for the left backs, we have Patrick van Aanholt, who's a good player, another pacey player. He's got a ton of pace in the fullback positions. 24 years old, still room to improve. Really good player. Decent going forward. Marking defensively is not fantastic. Might better suit a wing-back role, but really good player. Left backs, your only other choice is Adam Matthews, who we've already looked at as your backup left back, so that might be an area where you look to strengthen. Centre backs, we have a 35-year-old Wes Brown. He's a very good player. He's got all those important stats for technical stats such as tackling, marking and heading. His physicals let him down a little bit. His pace is just okay, but it will start dropping dramatically. He's 35 now. I think you'll get one season out of him. There's no point in selling him because he's not worth any money unless you need the wages. But he's what's his leadership? No, he's not really a leader either. He's a decent player. He'll do you for a season. Nothing spectacular. Then we have 34-year-old John O'Shea. Pretty similar, really, apart from the fact he's a really good leader. Again, physical stats are dropping. I think he's going to be a one-season wonder, really. And then you've got Unis Cabal, who's a youngster compared to the other two at 29 years old. Again, decent all-rounder. Nothing really stands out, but he's definitely a fine player. He's perfectly capable of doing the job. And then you've got Sebastian Coates, who, we bought for a lot of money at Liverpool. Didn't quite make it. He had a bad injury. He's okay on this. He's younger than the others. He's still definitely got room to improve. I think he's going to be he's a big lad. He's good in the air. Decent pace for a centre back. I think he's a decent player. And like I said, he's the youngest out of the four we've looked at. So defensive midfield's probably centre backs are probably okay for this season, but next season you're going to need to rebuild quite heavily, I think, there, just because of the ages. Now, midfielders in the centre that can play centrally. You've got Lee Catamol. Everybody at Sunderland knows about this guy. Ridiculously good mentals. Obviously, he's going to get sent off and yellow carded, much like real life. But really good player. He's a captain. He's got a decent work rate. His teamwork's great. His leadership is great. He's definitely a defensive player, tackling 14, marking 15. He's definitely a defensive midfielder, a ball-winning midfielder, or even an anchor man. You've got Liam Bridcut, who's 26 years old. He's kind of a lesser version, really, of Catamol, but still a good player. Can do a job for you. 26, so like I say, he's coming into his prime. Then we've got Yanam Villa, who is on loan. Is he on? Yeah, he's on loan, isn't he? That's the blue bit, John. That's the blue bit. Yeah, really good player. 25 years old. Quite versatile. He can play centre mid and defensive mid and play various different roles. He can play box to box. Is good. Let's have a look. Natural fitness and stamina are both good, so he's going to run all day long. He's not the quickest. You could play that position comfortably. Decent, okay technical stats. Good mentals. And next up we have Jack Rodwell. Again, centre midfield, defensive midfield. He's okay, 24 years old, still got room to improve. Determination is a little bit of a letdown. Okay physicals, kind of a jack of all trades, master of none, really. There's nothing that's stand out, but there's no real weak elements in his game. So that, as midfielders go, that's quite a decent selection of midfielders. You've got, I think, you might want somebody that's a bit more... They're all relatively defensive. Obviously, Catamal's definitely defensive. Maybe if you're looking for a central midfielder that needs to play further forward, you might use somebody else. So next we're going to Jordi Gomez, who also is a... So he's... I suppose I thought he was more of a winger. I'm going mad. Midfield centre, can play behind the striker, can fill in on the wings, although he's not the paciest or crossing's not great. So for me, it's definitely a sort of central midfield role. His passing is fantastic. He's definitely an advanced playmaker. Good long shots, good free kick taking. First touch is good. Composure, decision making. Yeah, he's a quality player. 30 years old now, so definitely need to look to the future and maybe think about selling him in 1-2 years' time. He's out for 3 months at the beginning of the game as well, so bear that in mind. Next we have Adam Johnson. Can play both wings equally well. He's your classic winger, really. Decent pace, can whip a ball in, gets forward whenever possible, runs with the ball often, good dribbling, which is good. Flair, 15, long shot, 16. He's a good player, definitely a good player. He's going to be one of your sort of first names on the team sheet, I think. And 27 years old, he's still got 3-4 good years left in him before he starts to decline. Jermaine Lenz, 27 years old, a winger again, plays kind of like Adam Johnson really, but just a slightly lesser version, I'd say. Again, he's dribbling, gets forward whenever possible, so two are very attacking wingers. Good pace, acceleration, yeah, kind of just very similar to Adam Johnson really. Are they the only two real wingers you've got? Okay, interesting. So you've got Fabio Borini, another ex-Liverpool player. Yeah, never really made the grade. Obviously, he was a hero at Sunderland for the wonders he did on loan and getting those important few goals. And now he's actually joined permanently. He's a good all-rounder. He can play up top and can play on the wings, which you definitely need cover for. And he's got the stats to play on the wings. So I think he's a great player to maybe have on the bench, just to come on and do some damage. Then you've got Ola Toivonen, 28 years old, on loan for the season. Decent attacking midfielder, can play shadow striker, which is, there's not many players that play that role comfortably, but can play as a striker. Again, decent all-rounder really, nothing particularly stands out. There's not I can see any. His work rate's maybe a little bit low. He's not a flair player, but other than that, he's a decent player. And then, so we'll go into the sort of roundup afterwards. So we've got Jermaine Defoe. Everybody knows about Jermaine Defoe. He's still quality in this game. Still got the pace. That will start dropping off in a year or two, but yeah, quality player Jermaine Defoe. Love watching him play. I used to go and see him at Bournemouth when he was on loan at Bournemouth when his younger days. We used to sing a song called "We've Got Jermaine Defoe. He scored 10 in a row," because that's how we roll. Danny Graham is your target man. He's lacking pace, as you'd expect, and other than that, he's okay. He's not worth that great money. He's all right. He's a decent squad player, but at least he gives you the option of playing the target man behind Stephen Fletcher, who's your better option for target man. So if that's, let's just quickly go through him. So great heading, good penalty taker, which is nice to have in the squad. A little bit more pace than Graham. Good finishing, first touch, composure's good. Yeah, he's a decent player, I think. Interestingly, it forces you to sort of play a target man really, because if these two are definitely target men, if you're playing one up top, you could play a Jermaine Defoe with like a Fabio Borini as your second choice. If you're just playing two up top with no target man, you're going to struggle. These guys are going to need to sort of fill in other roles that don't really suit them. So as far as like strengthening the squad goes, left back is an issue. You've got Patrick Van Aanholt, who's okay, but other than that, you're getting Adam Matthews as your sort of backup. Central midfield, you're perfectly fine. You need to strengthen the wingers because you haven't got very many of them. You've got players that can do a job, and then obviously the strikers all depends on your personal playing style. You've got two big target men, which is up to you how you want to play them. And that's about sums it up. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please check out my other guides. I'm doing all of the Premiership. Even if you're not planning to manage them, go and have a look. See if there's any good youth players you can steal, because I go through the youth teams of all the Premiership teams. So have a look. please drop me a like, drop me a subscribe-y thing, leave a comment, tell me if you're going to do the Sunderland save this year, and let me know how it goes. Very interested to see. And tell me if Yedlin's ever going to get a game for you. That'd be nice. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I'll speak to you soon.